Hi, I am going to be speaking about the project for the Getty Center here in Los Angeles. It's located in Brentwood, and it's a wonderful place on top of the mountain. The Getty Center is a Los Angeles landmark up on the mountain. The urban and natural elements of the Los Angeles inspired architect Richard Meier to design on campus that highlights both nature and culture, and to enjoy the modern design of beautiful gardens, open spaces, and dramatic views of the city. The location of the Getty Center is on a hilltop in the Santa Monica Mountains, offering visitors panoramic views of the Los Angeles from the Pacific Ocean to the San Gabriel Mountains and across the vast street grid of the city. The view from the tram that comes all the way up the hill, taking the visitors, it offers a view of the city and the hills and the highway, which is quite stunning and remarkable. The design elements and principles of the Getty grid is a linear element. The central axis of radial grid, it is radiating his arms from a special relationship from the welcome lobby, connecting with the central plaza, which gives the central access to the pavilions and coffee shops and gardens. The design elements are the line's horizontal profile, high walls, vertical, and diagonal curved. The shapes are geometric and organically integrated, and from additive and subtractive spaces, negative spaces, of the central courtyard, with the cluster pavilions are geometric alongside the two main grids. The gardens of the Getty Center are marvelous, and the central garden, it's wonderful. It's an evolving work of art designed to change with the seasons, and every visit offers a different sight and sound and the scents, because it's all brought up from exterior different plants, as well as the different cactus garden, the variety of cactus, succulents, and other plants from desert terrain. And as well as the views, we can see all the gardens from the amazing views from the high patios. And there's also at the entrance, where we arrive from the tram, a Stark sculpture garden, which is a little bit more minimal, but it is works by Joan Miró and Alexander Calder. I hope you enjoy the gardens when you visit there. what fascinates me mostly about the Getty when we drive through and see it really high up in the mountain, almost like a beacon, like the ancient pyramids in Egypt, is this incredible travertine stone and the feeling that there is a big rock up there. So what is the Getty made out of? The buildings at the Getty Center are made from a concrete and steel with either travertine or aluminum cladding. Around 1,200,000 square feet of travertine, which is a fossilized stone, was used to build the center through the campus, and numerous water fountains provide white noise as a background, which sometimes reminds us also of the Arabic Morisco palaces that brought the water into a desertic areas just to bring that feeling of an oasis that makes people calm and makes for a pleasant visit. The Getty Center is also using metal liquid polymer coated aluminum as a strong contrast with the travertine stone that provides that is a less heavy material and less imposing than the rock and more capable of producing the carved shapes that you can see here on the right, that would allow for that more fluidity and working with the frames. So also the thing that I found the most amazing is that because of the location, the building frames, the scenery and the local vistas, as we can see to the mountains as far as we can even see the ocean from this location. The central courtyard, in here we see a rock. That was a central boulder rock that was brought from Sierra Nevada mountains in Northern California. The water and the sounds are the key feature of the Getty Center through the whole compound, and it creates a very playful, light feeling of fluidity that is defining spaces and creating a very relaxing, soothing, natural environment, and people can relax, taking a little break between the exhibits. So for me, that celebrates permanence, solidity, simplicity, and warmth at the same, that craftsmanship. So I really celebrated that simplicity and minimalism as an inspiration. Looking at the design principles at the Getty Center, it's that geared to create an harmonious blend of landscape and building with the natural occurring ridges in the California hillside, and laid two grids along this axis, which are 22.2 degrees, along which the entire complex can be navigated. And the balance is in the geometric symmetry, and it's used with the different cubes and squares and rectangles that are used in different sizes. The rhythm of the repetition of those cubes, the squares, with the geometric shapes. Even in the floor, we can see that travertine rock is being used in different sizes of squares that are placed on the ground to walk. The contrast of the metal, the wood, and the stone layer materials makes a very interesting, very subtle contrast. There's a hierarchy emphasizing on pure principal shapes and focus on different structures that harmoniously cluster on that grid. So the geometry, it's very remarkable. That's the first thing we see when we arrive to the Getty, even if we see from the highway. And I found it amazing that there is a tram that goes up, and as we go up the hill, we have incredible views of the city and also the highway. So it's pretty fascinating. What I find also quite remarkable is the use of light, the color and light, how it's being enhanced. Although it's quite monochromatic and uses a lot of beige and white with the wood and the rock. However, the outside, the center, shows a use of natural light through the exterior, and also the glass and glass curtains walls that allow the sunshine of the morning, sunrise and sunset, which makes it of a quite lively and active experience, illuminating the interiors. Inside areas are computerized louvers and shades that are used to adjust the light that penetrates indoors as a protection to the artworks and how the paint, etc., is absorbing the light through special filters. There is also in the interior track lightnings and skylights, which are being portrayed in here. And that also shows how the light plays on the ground reflected, which is quite magical, as well as the ceilings in the exhibits are an indirect light, but there's also spotlights that are quite soft and make the experience of visiting the Getty, the part of the museum, quite an enjoyable and relaxed experience that actually the light works quite well reflecting on the artworks. The elements and principles of design of the color scheme, it's colors used for principally in a scheme that the space supports as a nature influence to fuse with the geographical landscape of Southern California. So there's different description of the hues and the values and the chroma, because the monochromatic in a certain way, but at the same time the fossilized stone portrays different options of colors that are brought by the feathers and wood and fossilized specimens, which makes it quite interesting and quite an art piece in itself. So here we have a view of some of that monochromatic, but how it blends with the natural sky and the Southern California landscape. The color scheme is also exclusively flat white, but also inside and outside. In the pavilions, we can see a wood which is like a warm amber, which reflects the sunrise and the sunset of Southern California. And at the same time, all the buildings are framing the light, how the light navigates the different empty spaces and the walls. It's characterized by very high vertical walls, but also the whole compound is quite built up, clustered on a horizontal axis as well. I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. Here's some references. The Getty Center also offers some events, like they have a theater and they have concerts, as well as specialized events to promote the local artists, as well as they have a great library that we can just check their archives, and also podcasts. So please enjoy, and thank you for your time.